This is a free download from the BBC. For more information, go to bbc.co.uk/podcasts.
Now. Hi, guys. What are you doing?
I'm sorting out my chair.
Welcome to the podcast. Let's listen to Kelly sorting out a chair. There'll be a clip. There's a clip at the back here that you do. So unclip it, then you can lift the arm up. The arms on chairs, they make it easy to go down, but they're so difficult to get up.
It's like me.
I tell you what I watched a bit of yesterday, and it was rubbish. Right. Remember in the 80s when they'd have these big... You literally don't. But they'd have these big, expansive British cartoons, 70s and 80s, that were supposed to be like artistic and beautiful, but were boring.
Like Watership Down.
Exactly like Watership Down, and were wobbly,
and
like really wobbly.
The Lord of the Rings one as well. That was
Lord of the Ring one. Do you know the
geeky.
Beatles? Instead of After Help, do you know what film they were going to make? Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
they were going to make Lord of the Rings. Ringo was going to be Bilbo. Is it Bilbo in Lord of the Rings, or is he in the Hobbit?
Bilbo's briefly in the Lord of the Rings, but you're thinking of Frodo.
The script was being written by who's the gay playwright that was killed by his partner, Joe Orton.
Right.
Joe Orton was writing. Joe Orton. I'm sure I've got this right, Beatles fans. Joe Orton was writing a script based on Lord of the Rings for the Beatles to make, and Ringo was going to be Frodo.
They could have called it Lord of the Ringo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Betts. That's why she gets top dollar. That's why she earns more than us put together.
Yeah.
I think I'd get the same as the cleaner.
Who is our cleaner? I've not seen. It's not Prince.
It's actually me.
That's why you get the same.
That's why this place is a pigsty.
We used to have Prince,
Yeah.
and he got the sack or something. Then we used to have Malcolm.
We still do have Malcolm.
I never see him.
Whence is Malcolm?
I think he comes in the evening when no one's here.
Oh, I'm not singing this.
Oh, it took me ages.
I haven't got a script.
Well, you don't need to. You can just copy and paste.
I haven't.
I definitely gave you on here.
But you sing it.
One there, though.
You sing it.
I can't. I don't know the words.
The words are in front. Kelly writes script for the podcast.
It's just pod.
Mama put the popcorn kernels in the pod. She turned up the heat.
No.
Now the pot. That's my Canadian. Is getting hot. And then those popcorn kernels start to pot. I'm not doing it. It's stupid. People know it's a podcast. And they know that we like that song Popcorn by Barenaked Ladies.
And I've combined the two.
But why?
Clever.
You make me sick.
Because you've got Barenaked Ladies in here.
You make me puke.
Thank you.
Are they in the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, nice one. That's I've swallowed it now. Here's Monday's show in a nutshell. Oh, and you've put a definition of nutshell. I always wondered what that meant. I've said it. It's a word I've said it. I've never known what it meant. Brackets, a nutshell in very brief form, semicolon, in a few words. And here it is. Enjoy. Sorry, I had to take a breath then because this supermoon thing really has got people by the balls. And Scott Balcony is tweeting pictures of...
These are the best pictures.
...of the supermoon. At Balcony Shirts if you want to see
The last
those.
one in particular.
Do you know what annoys me?
People tweeting pictures of the sky.
Natural phenomenon.
Phenomena.
Because it's nothing special.
It's a bit special. It's different.
No.
It's unusual.
Natural phenomena is literally nothing special. It's natural. I tell you what's special, the Apple Watch. That is special because someone has built a watch that can tell you when you need to take your phone out of your pocket to look at a message.
Yeah, people are paying thousands of pounds for them.
And that is special. Look at the red moon. Why? It'll happen again.
Imagine the moon being red. Stay in bed. Use your head.
Upside your head. I see. Okay, so red moons, not special. What other natural phenomena? Volcanoes? Oh, boring.
Can we do a phone in on natural phenomena you've ignored?
03459 455 555. What natural phenomenons? Phenomena? Phenomena.
No.
Have you missed or ignored or
On purpose.
deliberately turned your back? Maybe you were in Cornwall when the sun got covered up by the moon, and that's what it is. It's all it is, guys. It's all it is. And you thought, and you were in bed, and you thought, I should probably get up and say, do you know what? I can't be bothered. Put Steve Wright in the afternoon on instead, and he's listening, doze in bed listening to Wrighty with his chatty bits. Factoids. It's a factoid. Yeah.
They're really good, though, aren't they? Really good. Really, really good.
Here's a factoid. Did you know that money can be used to buy things? Oh, factoid. Yeah, factoid.
Good one, Steve.
Kelly's got a factoid. And Kelly's crying.
Oh, gosh.
She's crying.
Maybe you went on a coach trip to the Grand Canyon and then just before you got there you were out of sleep.
Yeah, a little doze. I thought, do you know what? Actually, I can't be bothered. I'm doing so well at Candy Crush. Just about to beat my high score. I'm going to ignore.
Just a massive hole anyway.
Catherine, please don't be so hard on yourself. Thank you, James. Little bit of, for those of you who've ever worked in BBC Local Radio, a little bit of inside information. I forgot to open my ENPS. Not going to explain it for those guys that don't work in BBC Local Radio, but suffice to say, I'm talking now to fill in me opening up and getting the day that I need. And these are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. There's been a big rise in the number of illegal immigrants being arrested by Bedfordshire police. An elderly woman has died after her car hit a lamppost in Milton Keynes, and residents of a road in Berkhamsted are campaigning to stop motorists. I'm going to take a run up to that because I wasn't prepared for that sentence. And residents of a road in Berkhamsted are campaigning to stop motorists from knocking down their cats. I mean, very sedate podcast introduction so far. I'm hoping you girls will up the ante a little bit. Up my ante. Up my auntie's what? None of your business.
Which auntie?
It'd have to be Auntie Diane.
All right. Point me in the right direction.
Gosh, that took a bum steer. She might do if you ask nicely. Now, sometimes the show takes a rude turn, as highlighted by that little exchange sur la podcast. What's podcast in French?
Probably podcast.
Yeah.
Je ne sais pas. I haven't spoken French for about 10 years.
Well, about 10 seconds. You just did it just then.
Well, that doesn't really count. Everyone can do that one.
I tell you what, here you go, because you think you're so clever and we don't like you. Translate this. Read this bit in French. Here we go.
Oh, my French isn't as good as my Spanish.
And that's what tossers say, who are really good at speaking for. Oh, I don't speak it that well. Okay, I'll have a go. And then they design like a house in French.
Okay.
In the conversation.
Let's try.
Let's try as if she can't do it. It makes me.
I'm just thinking about it.
Don't think about it. Do it.
Okay.
Go.
Are you going to read it in English first?
No, just do it in French. Let them work.
Okay.
Suckers.
Alors, parfois l'émission prend la route mauvaise, mais heureusement, nous avons le producteur top dans ma forme, Catherine Boyle, pour manager le bateau à la sauveté lorsque les choses vont mal. Sauf maintenant, pour ce petit pièce.
Oh. Why did you say Catherine Boyle in a northern accent?
Because that's my name. You can't translate that.
C'est ton Catherine Boyle.
Catherine
Boyle. Catherine Boyle.
That was beautiful.
Anyway, let's have the clip, is it?
It was terrible French. Apologies.
Morning, Ian. Morning, everyone.
Well, now, when you say everyone, are you speaking to my girls or are you speaking to the listeners, the boys and girls listening?
Well, it was to the people in your office, but if you put it like that, then it can be to everyone, I suppose.
I would rather it wasn't, and don't take this the wrong way, girls.
Well,
you do a great job, and I've got to say, you're both looking so fit today.
Thanks, Claire.
Looking fine. I mean, really is. It's great to come in on a cold, wet morning and just get a little glance at some little bit of Leggingtons, tight top. It really makes my day. So, girls, well done.
What
Thanks a
we're
lot.
here for.
Thank you so much indeed.
Noted.
Okay. But I'd rather you didn't speak to them, if I'm honest, Paul.
Okay, well, that's fine by me. You're the boss, Ian, right?
That's absolutely correct.
That's a good one.
The eye candy is not for talking to, it's for looking at. And they do a great job of allowing me to look at them.
I have Googled both of them to see what they look like, actually.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
No, I agree with you. They're nice.
They're nice.
How about you Google this?
Oh, she's making a vulgar hand gesture with both hands, Paul. That's how
to
upset
me?
To you. Yeah.
Mostly to Ian.
Okay. So isn't that, I'm going to fade them down because we don't need them. I can still look at them. Just stand up and give us a twirl, ladies. Go on, just stand up and give us a twirl.
I will, actually.
Kelly actually is, and that's probably the Okay. The fresher of the meats, I think.
Wow.
Would say if
Okay.
if I was a butcher.
Well,
If I was a
something about
butcher, if I
sausages
was
and stuffing, right?
If I was right,
Wow.
okay. If I was a butcher, I'd probably try and. Can I say this, Catherine?
Probably not.
I'd probably try and shift Kath first.
Wow. See, you've got a problem there, because I
Okay.
prefer my meat well hung.
Oh dear! And that was the day that we lost our jobs.
Yeah.
Do you remember the day we lost our jobs? Yeah, it was at 20 minutes past 8 on Monday, the 20th of September. Yeah, we just pushed it too far. What have we got for us, Paul?
I've forgotten now.
Well, that clip was really worth listening to, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. I don't know what it is. I don't listen. Do you listen to the pod? You don't, because you make it, so you don't need to listen to the completed.
I still do listen to it.
That's weird.
No, I listen on my drive home just to check that I haven't left any of your swear words in.
I don't do
It's
any.
a bit too late by then, but
Wowzers.
to check.
We do swear when we're recording the podcast. Links. Do you listen? You used to listen to it. You don't
I
now.
listen to it sometimes, it depends.
I don't have.
Sometimes I've had enough. You know, some weeks I've had enough of you. So why would I listen to it again? I was there.
What's his name? Deep Pan Dave.
Deep Pan Dan. That was good. It's a Nando's now. Deep Pan Pizza in Bedford.
I miss Pizza Land. Let's talk about defunct pizza places.
Pizza Land was good.
The advert for Pizza Land, they cut the pizza, and as they pulled it apart, the word Pizza Land would be spelt with cheese. You never had a Pizza Land, did you? Do you know what? She was probably born after Pizza Land went bust.
I remember when I was very little.
Pizzas
I was
galore
born
and
because Pizza Land went bust.
pizzas galore and a whole lot more. It wasn't a lot more. It was just pizzas.
Was it a British brand that got
Yeah.
driven out by the Americans? Before McDonald's and Wimpy and that lot came to Manchester, my dad used to take me to this place called Burgerland, and they did proper beef burgers, like fat ones. Before, you know, because McDonald's like slap theirs or something, so that they're
It's
half a
chewy
centimetre.
meat, but beautiful.
It's squeaky. But anyway, these were proper burgers, and all I remember of it was really nice strawberry milkshakes, and they used to have paintings on the walls, like nice murals of dancing milkshakes and that. Burgerland, Manchester.
I drove past where I used to live recently, Southgate in North London, and I didn't used to live there recently. I drove past somewhere I lived a long time ago for a short period of my time on this earth that we call home. And there, up until a few years ago, there was a Wimpy on the corner.
Oh.
Not now, it's from Paddy Power.
Where on
Oh.
earth do you get a bender in a bun now?
I think I prefer that.
I see Justin, he sorts me out. I have to provide the bum. We have our own political correspondent on the show. He's into politics, you know, like Corbyn, Cameron, Clegg. He loves words beginning with C because he is one. He's a correspondent, Kelly. I know what you're thinking, guys. You're thinking he should be doing more karaoke because that sounds like a hard C. It's a kicking cuh, but it sounds like a hard C, and he is a hard C. Take a listen to this clip, and you'll find out why. I've got no idea what's in the show, Catherine.
Yeah, I've got a vague idea.
Okay, Kelly.
No.
Okay, well, I mean, so like you, dear listener, we're going to learn what's in the show as the show progresses.
Do you want me to give you a rundown?
I don't actually.
Hospitals.
No, I don't.
Sugar daddies.
I'm gonna. Ooh.
And armed police.
Hey. Is it a serious sugar daddy story or a
Yeah,
light-hearted
well,
one?
kind of. I know what people will say though. If you go on a website called sugardaddies.com and get rinsed out by some younger woman, kind of asking for it.
Okay. I've got a sugar daddy song up my sleeve.
Have you?
Approach.
Can I see the lyrics?
If you've got some sugar, daddy, pour it on.
She's gone to prison, so
He'll be fine then.
Yeah,
He'll
it's
be fine.
fine.
He'll be fine. Well,
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This
When-
is BBC Three
I'm
Counties
good.
Radio.
I know I'm mixing up stories here, guys. But when it comes to sugar daddies, sit back, enjoy this.
Oh.
When it comes to sugar daddies, they don't come much sweeter and daddier than. There it is. There
That
it is.
guy.
You heard it. You heard it. And that, there it is again. You heard that. It's like a little mouse, a little sexual mouse that is able to tempt the vulnerable women with his cackle. Hello, Paul Scoins.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. I'm in my spare bedroom. Nice to be here.
Oh, do you have an argument with the missus again? I'm so sorry to hear that. You sound like being a sugar daddy. You can't do that. You're an actual daddy now.
I'm
Hey,
just too. I'm almost just too much of a player, really.
Speaking of playing, I've given you my tickets to go and see Squeeze, one of the greatest, he's in the top 50 bands of all time. I've given you my tickets to go and see Squeeze tonight at Milton Keynes. 50 quid a ticket, Paul.
Yep.
I just wondered how we were going to do the money, how that was going to work.
I was going to do a transfer, if that's all right, and as you say, I'll put it into the bank account marked Iain Lee in a major high street bank.
But as Barclays?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Is there any chance of getting cash in a brown envelope?
Do you want it in euros?
I would prefer pounds. Pounds would be awesome.
Okay.
I
can do it in euros.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Okay, right. And this will be tricky because there's a massive delay, but I think this might work. Just to prove how much... you can have those tickets for free, Paul. You can have those tickets for free.
Okay.
But...
cheers, man.
Well, the question on everyone's lips, Paul, is do you know Squeeze well enough to go and see them live in concert this evening in Milton Keynes? So just a quick snatch of Squeeze. Quick squeeze of... no, hang on, here we go. It's...
Up the junction.
oh! Okay, well, let's see how well you know it. Let's hear you singing along with... it's billed here as Up the Junction brackets in the style of Squeeze karaoke version.
In the style of Squeeze. It was something that happened with me and a girl from Clapham on the windy common. That night I ain't forgotten when she dealt all the rations and some with other passions. I said, you're a lady. Perhaps she said, I may be. We moved into a basement with thoughts of our engagement. We stayed up by the telly, although the room was smelly. We spent our time just kissing, the railway arms were missing, but love had got us hooked up, and all the time it took us. I got a job with Stanley, he said I'd come in handy, and he started me on Monday. Had a bath on Sunday. I worked 11 hours and bought the girl some flowers. She said she'd seen a doctor and nothing else could stop her. I worked all through the winter and this bit I'm.
Paul, you've won a pair of tickets to see Squeeze.
Hey!
How excited are you, Paul, in Milton Keynes?
I'm very excited. Can you babysit?
What?
Have you got any babysitting skills?
I think I'm busy then, Paul. But thank you, congratulations. Okay, so we've heard that clip now, and that was great. That was Paul Scoyne singing beautifully. Does it annoy you, Kelly? Because you do write the script. Does it annoy you when
yes.
I?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Mm?
Does it annoy you when I'm going to turn your microphone down for this? Because your answer is almost irrelevant. Does it annoy you when I stray from the script?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to sneeze.
Sneeze in French.
Là-dessus.
No, à tes souhaits.
Pardonnez-moi.
It's gone.
Oh.
Like the French. Have they? I wish they would. I don't get it. Don't get France.
Why?
What's the point of it? What is the point of it? Because you go there, Eiffel Tower, Le Tour Eiffel, seen that. Arrogance, experienced that. Snails, yeah. On to Germany. Yeah, I just don't see the. I don't see the point.
You
in
never
it.
done the Dordogne?
I've married. I can't do those things anymore. I don't know what the Dordogne is.
It's nice.
It's just. Have you ever been abroad? Kelly, have you? Ever been abroad?
Yes.
Oh.
Many times.
Did you like it?
I did, yeah.
Because some of it's a bit ropey.
No, I liked it.
Okay. I know you've been abroad. You've probably lived abroad, have you?
Mm.
Unbelievable. What's wrong with this country? You racist. British racist. Anti-racist British. You anti-British racist.
You ABR.
Yeah. What was that?
ABR.
What does that mean?
Anti-British racist.
You're an anti-British racist.
All right.
Okay, fair play. You let your flag fly proudly, but it's not the British flag.
I don't have a flag.
Oh, controversial. How do you let people know what tribe you're from?
They know.
Okay. Northern.
It's none of their business.
Where are we here? There we go. Yeah, tell you what, Catherine, you do this bit. Can you do it in Sur la Spaniard?
Which one?
Yeah.
Ah, érase una vez un hombre contando una cuenta. Iba un poquito así.
I don't even care what the clip is now.
There's a clip. When Milton Keynes man Alan Tyndall found a toy gun in the street, he thought he'd take it home. Well, you would, wouldn't you? Clean it up and put it back where the owner could find it. I don't know if I'd go that far. Trouble is, someone got the wrong end of the gunny stick. And, Alan joins me now. Alan, you can probably tell the story a whole lot better than I can. What happened?
Good morning.
Good morning, Alan. What happened?
Well, what actually happened, I was hard down the allotment, and on my way home, turning my corner on the street of Holton Hill, Emerson Valley, I spotted a toy gun on the grass.
Oh, yeah.
Soaking wet. So I picked it up. Yeah. I thought the only thing to do is take it home, dry it out, and put it back on the hedge in the morning.
Beautiful. I love leaving stuff or finding stuff left on a hedge.
Well,
I do it often with gloves and scarves. You don't know, and I've gone back and found a teddy on the hedge once. Yeah. Okay, good idea. Oh, okay, so you took it back.
So I took it indoors, put it against the bottom of the radiator, and thought no more about it. I thought in the morning I'll put it outside, and whoever owns it can pick it up. So I went off in a cab to see a friend of mine who was on Coffee Hall, Milton Keynes, and a nice evening. Came back at my home at 10 to 10 in the evening. Yeah. No, sorry, 10 to 11.
10 to 11.
And I found the house surrounded by police.
Now, when you say surrounded, how many coppers were there, Alan?
Well, I'm not really sure. I mean, I was told not to move straight away as soon as I got out of the taxi.
Oh, blimey.
Don't move. So I didn't move. I didn't have time to look around to see who was about.
Yeah.
And I was asked to hand over my house keys. So I obviously did that. I didn't fancy being tasered or whatever.
No, I did all kinds of things.
And I handed over the keys. The officer went in the house. The female officer said, I repeat, don't move. He went in the house. He searched the house. But he eventually came back out and said, okay. He got the toy gun in his fingers. Evidence, exhibit number 1.
Oh, blimey. How convincing was this toy gun?
Well, it was, I must say. It did look the McCoy.
Beautiful.
I mean, if you saw one, you'd think, yes, well, it could be the real thing.
So
I don't know why they're on sale. It's amazing why they're on sale to children, to parents to give to their kids.
Oh, I don't let my boys play with toy guns. I mean, they make toy guns out of sticks. They go, look, I've got a gun and a weapon, but I wouldn't buy them a toy gun. So at what point did the police realise it wasn't a real gun?
Until they entered my home.
Okay.
Not until they entered my home.
Yeah, and then they picked it up and they went, all right, lads, it's a toy.
We do apologise, but these things have to be looked into. And I thought, very fine. Yeah.
I suppose in some ways it is very fine, isn't it? Because it's better to be safe than sorry. Because you sound like a perfectly normal, rational gentleman, but there is a chance that you could have been
a drummer, a percussionist.
Oh, well, in that case, they were right to bust in then. You drummers are nuts. And you say you turned up at 10 to 11. I bet you're supposed to turn up at 9:30. It's a drumming joke, guys. But you could have been a nut job, couldn't you? You could have been a fruitcake. And so can you kind of see that they may have been a little bit heavy-handed, but perhaps best to err on the side of caution.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm still bewildered.
I can tell.
As to the response for picking up a toy gun.
Who grassed you up, do you think?
Well, I know who grassed me up.
Well, don't mention any names. Is it someone who's got a grudge against you?
Yes, it's a drug dealer.
This story's taken a very dark turn. Why has he got? Wow, but why has he got? Hang on a minute. You know it was why? And he's a neighbour, is he?
He's a neighbour, yeah. Okay.
Why would a drug dealer have a grudge against a drummer? I'd have thought you two guys.
No, well, the reason he's got a grudge against me is because I don't like what he's doing.
No, good for you. Good for you. Hey, what kind of music do you play, Alan?
Rock, blues, jazz.
Beautiful. You in a band at the moment?
No, I'm basically retired. I play for charity now and again.
Yeah. What's your favourite song to really kind of get going on the drums?
Favourite song?
Yeah, for you to play.
Oh, for me to play, Wipeout.
Oh, really? The Safaris?
Oh, the Safaris.
Oh, well, that's a tricky one to play. That's a fiddly one.
Yeah, I can still do it.
Oh, good
well,
for you.
I'm out of breath at the end, though.
That's all drums. That's all paradiddles and whatnots.
Yes, triplets, flams.
Triplets and flams. Oh, well, listen, Alan, bless you, and I really appreciate you coming on. You're all right, though. It's not scarred you or anything.
Sorry?
It's this hasn't put you off, going to the allotment or the police or anything, has it?
No, but
Good.
I'm just warning people, people out there.
Yeah.
Be careful what you pick up when you're walking home.
So, well, there's a lesson for all of us.
Especially dogs.
No, thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. You know what I have to do now, and I have to do it, but none of us want to, but I have to. Apologies for the language there from our individualistic elderly drummer. If you've got young ears in the car, I'm sorry, I never mean to offend with any bad language or anything like that. I've filed these parts of the podcast as though I make any contribution to the creation of this podcast is ludicrous, but under miscellaneousos. That's Greek.
For
Bits and bobs.
It's not bits and bobs.
Bits and bops.
No, it's not bits and bobs.
Bits and babs.
No.
Baps and bits.
Here's the thing, it's not bits and bobs.
what?
The saying, bits and bobs. It's not bits and bobs.
Bits and bobs. I just get my hand.
I tell you what, let's listen to the miscellaneousos, and then I'll come back and we'll
Miscellanea.
talk. Got a keyboard last night for my birthday, and that's some of the stuff that I wrote on it.
Beautiful.
Got plenty. I've actually written quite a lot of songs on the old keyboard last night. Do you want to?
Do you use a single finger chord mechanism? Or
I beg your pardon. I was playing with my keyboard.
where do you stand on fillings?
I don't stand. There we go. Listen to this. Just some stuff I did.
No, hang on. Sounds familiar.
No.
Yep. That bit for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's, It just made me messing around last night.
So creative.
It's better than doing drugs or mugging old lady kids.
Lady kids.
Those lady kids. I mean, I just don't know what to think about them. Here we go. Last one. This is another. That was a tough one to play. So play it one again. That was a toughie.
Gosh.
That's a toughie.
How long have you had that keyboard?
I only got it yesterday for my birthday.
Gosh.
I was playing it, and again, I just... That's a fast one. I mean, flipping heck. It took me ages. It took me about 20 minutes to get that one spot on. And then I did, and I just recorded it like this. The trick was, because I did that then. So I was recording it just onto my cassette recorder. Got that for my birthday as well. Thanks, Nan. And at the end, I kept going, and I had to keep doing it until I didn't do it. So I'll be playing it. Oh, God. I've done the humming. I have to do it again and again. And my mum was banging on the ceiling.
Will you pack that in?
It's 9:10. Way past your bedtime, boy. Turn that off. Oh, Mum, you've ruined it. I've got to do it again now, Mum. And then when I knew that she was watching Minder, I was flicking the V's at that. Don't you flick the V's at me, boy!
They don't understand about your music, do they?
They don't understand.
So, have you thought about jacking this in and concentrating on the music?
I have actually, yeah.
Because I think it might be getting in the way.
Yeah, I have actually. In fact, I wrote a song last night. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
It goes a little bit like this.
You're out of breath.
Yeah, it's hard work. Recorded this all by myself. A monocle worn by Sir Patrick Moore is to be sold along with several globes he used on the telly. The late astronomer was much loved for squinting through the old-fashioned lens on a string. I know what a monocle is! You don't need to What's a monocle? Oh, a lens on a string.
It wasn't on a string anyway, it was on a chain.
Which corrected the sight in his right eye. It's going to go for £800. Now, that sounds a lot, right? But then you compare it with the only contract, this was sold yesterday, the only contract to be signed by them Beatles and that there Brian Epstein. Have a guess how much that went for?
£365,000.
Why, did you buy it?
I've got it here in front of me.
Oh, in the newspaper?
Yeah.
Not the contract.
I can't afford that kind of money.
300. And you know what? The BBC will be going, oh, could we have a lens on it, please? Can we have a lens on it for our thing we're doing next year where we want all rock and roll memorabilia? Can we have a lens on it? We'll give it back. And you go, all right, then make sure you look after it. You give it to them in like one of those plastic wallets you get from Ryman's. And then it takes ages for it to come back, and then they stop returning your emails, and then it gets sent in an envelope, like a flimsy envelope, not even a jiffy, and it's all been folded up.
It's full of jam.
It's got a coffee stain on it.
Oh.
And you try and get hold of the 18-year-old researcher that borrowed it. Oh, they don't work here no more, sorry. Unbelievable. The BBC really needs to buck up its ideas before I invest any more of my time in them. 03459 455 555.
This is a weird compilation you've got playing underneath you.
It's my karaoke.
Oh.
Shake it, like I'm supposed to.
No, those aren't the words, Catherine.
Yeah, they're totally the words. All the right junk in all the right places.
I said, look at my fat bum as I walk down the street. You boys say you don't like it, but you'd like a treat. You'd like to touch it, like to see me bend down, pick up that coin. But I ain't doing that, not for your joy. You see? Those are the actual words.
Gosh, you should tell Meghan Trainor, she's singing it all wrong.
And she's singing it all wrong. There we go. I got it. Finish that bit quickly, don't matter. It's giving me an idea for a phone-in. Songs about Queens. Songs about Queens. It's about Queen Victoria.
Right, God Save the Queen.
No,
I mean like the Sex Pistols version.
Oh, yeah, I love that. Fair play, we'll have that. Her Majesty by the Beatles.
Yep.
And the Stone Roses did one about the Queen. They were going to kill her or something, weren't they?
Don't remember that one.
Stone Roses... Isn't it? It's Curtains for You, Elizabeth, my dear. Isn't that about the Queen?
I don't know.
No, let's say it is. It makes it. Just makes it
about
easy.
soft furnishings.
No. Songs about the Queen. Queens. Oh, we have fun with that. Lucky me, dear. 03459 455 555. Let's go straight to Kelly Betts, who's going to have loads of songs about Queens.
Queenie, who's got the ball?
Okie dokie. She's literally talking out of what can only be described a perfectly formed bunghole. Really, I mean that's it. Songs about Queens, please. Explosions in your life. 03459 455 555.
Once I had a bottle of champagne explode, right? Because the fridge went bung overnight. Bung. Why did I say bung? Because you said bung earlier.
Yeah. Bunga party.
Everything froze.
Huh?
Everything froze in my fridge.
All right.
It went bust.
Oh.
And this bottle of champagne exploded.
We always had homemade wine exploding. I mean, that was de rigueur in the 70s.
That's what it's supposed to do, isn't it?
Killer Queen's not about the Queen, Jamie, you plum. It's got to be songs about Queens, not like just the word Queen in.
Oh.
Anyone could do that. It's got to be about...
Actual Queens.
That song was specifically...
Oh, like Dancing Queen. That was about the Queen of Norway, I'm going to say.
No, it wasn't. That was about... that was ABBA's nickname for Bjorn. Chance to be a fine thing. I would make such a good gay man, apart from one tiny thing. I'd be so good at it, though. Just that thing is what puts me off. But everything else, I'd be brilliant at it.
It's quite pivotal, that.
034... That's the problem. 03459 455 555. Now, towards the end... I love this. This is popping up quite a bit recently. I don't know why. There must be a film out. Future expert predicts boom in Android lovers. Future expert. These are futurologists. These are people who just get paid to go on the radio and go, well, yeah, what will happen in 25 years' time? Shut up, tomorrow's world. We'll be having sex with robots in the next 10 years.
Some people already are, aren't they?
Exactly, ladies and gentlemen, exactly. Robots already build our cars, clean our houses and make our food. But soon, they'll be jumping into bed with many of us. Oh, sexy robot. Well, all you got to do, because you get those blow-up dolls, All you've got to do is
Get an attachment.
do the eagle eyes, the little thing at the back of the head that makes the eyes move around. The string on the you are so sexy, I want to make love to you. Pull that. She'd have an accent, my one. That's just the thing. Pull that. Beautiful.
Scary one,
I'm
by
in.
the sounds of it.
Literally. Beautiful. Boom. That's the problem. You go boom because you have to blow them up. This is why the robot ones would be a step in the right direction.
Speaking of explosions,
Step in the right. Yeah.
they would explode, wouldn't they?
With passion, they'd have to have a chip built into them that would prevent that from happening. And for the lady robot, I can see how that would work. A gentleman robot, really? Rise of the Robots? It may seem like the plot of a raunchy sci-fi movie, but the popularity of sex droids, is already on the rise, with manufacturers offering lifelike moving dolls for, quotes, private fun.
It's like...
He is a futurologist.
It's like sitting on the washing machine. What's the point?
What if... What if
Put some eyes on it.
the robot turns against you and kills you?
As we've seen in the documentaries,
Yes.
The Terminators. At Home with the Terminators. Well, then you'd be dead, mate.
Has
And
no
it
one
gets
seen Blade
all
Runner?
of your
'Cause-
household appliances against you.
Yeah, Blade Runner.
Futurologist Dr. Iain Pearson has now predicted that the specialised robots will start to appear in ordinary homes. There ain't nobody ordinary that has it away with a robot. In the next decade, as randy humans, that'll be us, guys, look for hassle-free love. In a report produced for an online sex shop, he says, so futurologist Dr. Iain Pearson is taking the sex shop dollar. Some people will enthusiastically embrace relationship-free robot sex as soon as they can afford one, as early as 2025.
People who like mechanical, predictable encounters.
The brothels and strip clubs will soon include robots, and they will be a specific fetish for some people,
Hang on, wait.
as well as a potentially cheaper replacement for real-life
So
interactions.
there will be a robot that will take its clothes off.
Yeah.
What if it just looks like
I'm
that Johnny
too
Five?
sexy for my shirt. Syntax error. They can already get him for $6,000. He says Neil Slateford, co-owner of Britain's biggest online sex toy retailer, Love Honey.
Gosh.
Love Honey. Predicts that robot sex will be commonplace far sooner. He says, yeah, the early robotic toys are out of the price range of most people, costing around £6,000. But technology is developing all the time. Prices will inevitably come down, and we envisage selling mass-market robotic toys in around 3 years. They could be brilliant. They could be brilliant. They could be.
They'd probably be rubbish.
They could be brilliant. And let's face it, it's the safest way to have a threesome with your partner and not end up in a divorce court.
Oh, God.
I'm assuming they'll be wiped down. The thing is...
I was going to say, the ones that are in communal areas, flipping heck.
US firm, this is the best story in the world. And guys, if you've got children, I'm sorry, but it's their future we're talking about here. US firm True Companion's website advertises an ultra-realistic sex robot known as Roxy, XXX, describing it as a good replacement for a wife or girlfriend without the social issues.
Yeah, if you don't like people.
Oh, man alive.
Gosh.
Well, my boys are going to have a good time in the future. So, that was
What
the
is it then?
Miscelaniano. Welcome back. It's not Bits and Bobs.
What is it?
I don't know if I should tell you.
Bric-a-brac.
It's Bibs and Bobs.
Who said?
The world. That's what used to be Bibs and Bobs, and we've transformed it into Bits and Bobs. That's a fact.
What's a bib?
But the bob is the bit that doesn't make sense. The bits is the only bit that does.
Yeah.
Well, but even that bit's not accurate. Let me Google it.
What's a bib?
Twisting my
It's
melon.
a
mean,
thing
other
that
than
you
a
wear
bib.
as a baby.
Yeah, but why
If
would you
you're eating
buy
a lobster.
Why
Imagine-
would you have loads of those?
Well, if you've got loads of babies.
Oh, is it? Ah, right. Is it to do with like little bits of small items of clothing?
But then what's a bob?
It's the fella that sells them.
Bibs.
Bibs and Bobs. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to go to the English Stack Exchange. Someone's asked the question. It's like Yahoo Questions, but for Barenaked. Bibs and Bobs. What does it mean? Where does it come from? Just exactly what is a bibs and a bobs? And where the heck did that expression come from anyway? I can't be bothered to find the explanation. You Google it. There's a little project for you there.
Oh, I've just checked to see if we're recording, and sadly we are. Shame.
Yeah.
Okay, you do this bit in foreign language, American.
Oh, I can't do any accents whatsoever.
You can't even do English accent. I don't know what that voice is.
How do Americans do? Someone say something in American so I can remind myself.
You want a coffee? I'm walking here.
I filed these parts on the podcast.
Hey man, I found these parts of the podcast, man.
Go on, have a go.
I was going to pretend that was me doing that.
No, that was
you
me.
have a go.
Come on. You have a go. Come on. This is equal opportunities.
I'm trying to think.
People can't say that. Hey, the story we didn't do in the paper today is that short men have less sex
Here's
than
one.
tall men. Well, that's obvious. Can't reach the knobs, the doorknobs to get in to the ladies' bedroom or the gentleman's.
Your granddad's Irish.
Short gay
right?
men come off worst.
Do Irish. Do it like your granddad, but without the swearing.
Oh, I can't do Irish either.
You got to do something, mate. Otherwise, we're stuck here.
Come on.
We're stuck at about 45 minutes into the podcast. We've got to finish the podcast.
I'm just going to do whatever comes out.
Oh dear.
Will you do Dealey? He's not here.
Yeah,
do an American dealie.
I filed these parts of the podcast onto Barenaked Ladies.
That's Australian.
Oh, Australian. I could do Australian. Nice.
Okay, do it Australian.
I can do Australian.
Go on then.
I filed these parts of the podcast onto Barenaked Ladies.
That was your voice. This
Is it still fun? Yeah, you know, I've been saying to a lot of folks lately, we're 27 years in, and I think I'm having more fun than ever. Actually, we just came off 37 dates in America, where we also had Colin Hay, who's opening up this UK tour with us, and it was just a pleasure. We had Colin and the Violent Femmes, and I just felt very fortunate to still be in a rock band with people I enjoy. And
and this is a serious thing. We were just talking about the Kinks. We're in Crouch End, which is kind of near where the Kinks live, and I'm reading the book. The Kinks hate each other, okay, and they stay together for years, but they hate. Do you still really get on? There's got to be kind of bits that wind you up about each other.
Well, there certainly are bits that wind us up, but you know, the joy for us is that we love Barenaked Ladies, but hate the Kinks, and that's what keeps us going. No, we don't. We actually love the Kinks.
You have to have a scapegoat rock band.
Yeah, and it's the Kinks.
It's always the Kinks,
That's
yeah.
blasphemy in this country.
We're united in our hatred of the Kinks. It's not true.
Tell us about who wants to tell us about Silverball, the new album, which is a treat, by the way.
I would love to tell you about Silverball. What do you want to know? I know everything about it.
How much money did you make for it?
0 so far.
What number album is this? We've got to be into the teens, haven't we?
Yeah, I think it's 14.
Jeez.
It depends if you count a live record or something in there. I think it's our 14th studio album, actually.
I agree with that. I think it's number 14. And number 14 is obviously a lucky number because it's like lucky 7 times 2.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't have another shred of mathematic evidence that that's the true statement. But 14 albums in, we're still making records. We still enjoy it. This time we worked with Gavin Brown. He's done our last 2 records, actually. He's a Toronto guy. Producer. He's worked with Metric and Tragically Hip and Billy Talent and bands like that. And he's a great guy, and he's got a great beard.
I was going to say, you've come back kind of hairier than before. There's with certain exceptions, there's a lot of hair.
I'm the exception. No. I have there's a mole right here that actually sprouts a little. That's it, little hair, but otherwise I'm not really. I can't really contribute. Sorry,
Jim's
guys.
still a baby.
He's a wee baby.
Why are you doing a Pakistani accent?
Every time.
I don't get it. Are you a democratic band? It sounds like everyone's kind of chipping in. Is that how it works?
Yeah, we're probably closer to socialists than we are to Democrats. But yeah, everybody gets heavily involved in every aspect of it. I think that's why it's such a pleasure to record. It's not a dictatorship in the studio.
I have got beef with you. I'm clutching my phone because I've got my boys 5 and 3. They've kind of just discovered you. My eldest went to his first concert last week. He went to see the Monkees. First concert. But
Monkees?
Took him to see the Monkees, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
The monkey? A new Monkees?
That's the Monkees. That's the old Monkees.
It's more like the monkey now.
It's just
Harry Monkey.
But I've got my boys have discovered you now, and they love you, and that's great. It's brilliant. But my car journeys. This is my car journey.
What? And everyone is addressed to me.
harmony.
Yeah, that's the youngest.
That's you, isn't it?
This goes on for like 5 minutes, guys.
Why is your son doing a Pakistani accent?
Thank you, Ed.
Because my wife is from Pakistan. This goes on for like 5 constantly.
I love it.
That's not a repeat. That's
this is
a natural repeat.
This is it, just going on and on.
They're good boys. Yeah.
They got good taste.
No, I mean,
boys,
guys,
your allowance is in the mail.
And this is one of the things that is great about you is that, and I've got to phrase this properly, is your songs. It's kind of there's adult stuff going on, but there's something childlike about them as well. Is that how you seal part of your appeal?
Well, we're a fairly simple lot, I think.
That's sort of embedded in the whole philosophy and roots of the band. You know, even in the band name, it's sort of got a childlike quality to it.
Oh, the boys think it's hilarious. Oh, where are you going today, Daddy? I'm going to see Barenaked Ladies. Oh, yeah, boobies. They're excited. Any chance of any boobies today?
Only man boobies.
You know
You're
what?
into that.
At 42, I'll take. And your kids love them as well.
Totally obsessed.
Lying in bed just like Brian Wilson. Then I was lying in bed just like Brian Wilson. Dead.
She sings with vigour. She's 3.
That's awesome.
Wow.
She knows the rest.
She may sing that better than I do.
Well, if you ever get a sore throat or anything, we've got a couple of candidates that are willing to come in.
Well, we're a lot like Menudo, but our cutoff age is 50. So once we get to 50, we have to start rotating in British children.
How do you, very quickly, we're going to let you go because I know you kind of just got here yesterday and you must be shattered. How do you decide, because you've got so many songs and so many albums and so many good songs, how do you kind of fight over which ones you get to play? I mean, obviously there are the obvious ones. If you didn't play one week, I'm guessing you'd get lynched, but the kind of...
Well, what's happening right now is, especially on the last 2 records, is a lot of the new songs really play well live. They work for the quartet, and so it's been nice to have that new batch of songs to throw into the set, and they seem to work really seamlessly. So
And
I don't
it keeps
know.
us excited as well
Yeah.
when we were playing newer material, and the audience loves it. Forget all the hits. Play us some new stuff. But
we're a band that doesn't hate our hits too.
Good.
So I enjoy the energy that playing a hit song injects into a live show. And if we're bored of something or sick of something, we just change it or we leave it out for a while. We've got a long career and we've got a lot of songs to choose from. There are a few songs that we play every night, so we just find ways to keep them interesting. But I never want to be a guy on stage that's not enjoying what he's doing. So if we're not enjoying something, we take it out of the rotation.
Now, that was the Barenaked Ladies, and boy, wasn't that a lot of fun. You've really taken your foot off the accelerator when it comes to writing the links, because normally you obviously got worn out by typing pod 100 times. You could have just copied and pasted it. That was dumb.
I did.
But so all of the links that I've remembered, I've filed this under, and this one is I've filed these parts of the podcast under feisty.
She doesn't file anything. What's she talking about filing?
Kelly has filed these parts of the podcast under feisty. Well, David Atherton is chairman of the pro-smoking group Freedom to Choose. Morning, David.
Good morning, Ian. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Listen, if you're stupid enough to smoke in front of your kids and set them a bad example, then that's fair enough. But I think, would you agree that bringing in the ban in the car in front of kids is perhaps a little bit fascist?
Oh, I think you're pinching all my best lines at the moment, aren't you?
Sorry, boss. I'll shut up. You do them then. Go on, you do them.
No problems there. Joking apart, if you want to go on the freedom angle, what is the difference between banning smoking in a car with kids to banning smoking in the home with kids?
Well, the argument could be you could have you could do it in different rooms, I suppose. And smoking the car is a more enclosed space, I suppose.
No, don't worry. No. In 1998, Ash said they had no plans to recommend the banning of smoking in pubs and restaurants.
Yeah.
Because it was all a nasty rumour for the tobacco companies. The anti-smokers will never sleep. I've heard somebody from Ash saying, "Well, the ban in smoking in cars should be extended to anybody in a car." So this is just a slippery slope of more and more legislation, more and more bullying of smokers, and the more sort of marginalisation. And it's like yourself, Ian. Mad enough to smoke in front of mad enough to smoke in front of kids.
Yeah.
That's a bit strong, isn't it? What we're going to do? Ban next? Ban the drink of alcohol in front of kids? Eating red meat in front of kids?
No, if you smoke in front of a kid, you're an idiot. Smoke in front of one of your kids, you're an idiot.
Why?
Smoke in front of one of my kids, I'll have a word with you.
Why?
Sorry?
Why?
Because you're normalising something that is dangerous and life-threatening.
Oh, okay. So we as a group, smokers should be denormalised by the state and everybody else.
No. What I'm saying is, I don't want my kids to think it's acceptable to smoke. I mean, they'll make their own decisions and they probably will experiment with it. I used to smoke a long time ago, and I was sensible enough to realise, oh yeah, hang on, this is costing me a fortune and it's killing me. I think I might stop now. Would never smoke in front of kids.
Well, that's just a matter of discretion, isn't it?
I don't want to give them cancer. And you're going to trot out there's no evidence that passive smoking is dangerous. Well, there is. There is loads of evidence that passive smoking...
Well, come on, Ian, what's your evidence?
Well, surprisingly, David, I don't have the facts and figures, but obviously passive smoking is dangerous.
Well, let me quote you a man of Sanford of Ash.
Okay.
Who was caught off guard 10 years ago in an interview with Professor Tim Luckhurst.
Okay, because I'll be speaking to her in an hour, so you tell me what to ask. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, put it to it. What she said was, 10 years ago in this interview with Professor Tim Luckhurst, that most of the studies done into passive smoking do not reach statistical significance.
Yeah, but it's obvious though, isn't it? You're blowing out toxic chemical smoke. That will go in the... You'd accept that smoking is bad for the smokers, right? That's a fact, yeah?
Oh, yeah, the active smoking, yes.
Right. So how could it not be bad for the people that are breathing in?
Let me put the dangers of passive smoking in simple terms. Okay. If you went into a restaurant with 50 covers, say there's 50 tables there, and it had 50 candles on the table, you will be breathing in the equivalent of 100 cigarettes and similar carcinogens as well. No one's ever talking about banning candles in restaurants, are they?
Hang on a minute.
Seriously?
That's balls, I'll be honest. If you just go to the NHS website, passive smoking can damage your body because second-hand smoke contains more than 4,000 chemicals, many of which are irritants and toxins. So I wouldn't want kids...
That's an opinion.
Sorry?
There are plenty of scientists.
Yeah, we can listen. We can all listen. You started off so well, and now you've embarrassed yourself, David. We can all pick and cherry pick stuff that supports, one argument or another. It's obvious, mate, and you know it's obvious. If you're blowing out that, so what you're saying, when you breathe in the smoke, right, the chemicals stay in you, the bad stuff stays in you, and then what? Your throat is like a filter that filters out all the bad stuff. So when you blow it out, it's just like fun smoke.
Yeah,
your lungs are a filter which filters out all the bad stuff, so that when you blow it out, it's just like fun smoke.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Is that what you're saying?
Let me give.
That's what you're saying. Wow.
Indeed, Ian.
David, you're brilliant. Okay.
Well, okay. Do you want 50 quid for charity on this one?
No, I don't.
Well, okay, fine. Just to give you an example, if you what somebody breathes in, if you're in a room that was unventilated and didn't have any air conditioning in it, the non-smoker would breathe in 1/100th of what the smoker does. If the room was ventilated, it would probably be about 1/500th, 1,000th.
Okay, what about in a car?
It's about the same, actually.
According to the stats that you've got, and I could go online now and I could find loads of other stats that were... Listen, you're like... listen, I'm kind of agreeing that banning smoking in cars in front of kids is stupid. If you smoke in front of your kids, then, man alive, you're dumb and you obviously don't care for your kids. But banning it in cars is a little bit nanny state. But come on, David, come on. You can't argue that your lungs act as a filter that filter out the 4,000 chemicals in cigarettes. So when you blow that smoke out, it's just like the smoke they have on top of the pops or something. Are you seriously suggesting that?
It's probably not a million miles away. And by the way, there might be 4,000 chemicals in cigarette smoke, but only about 70 are potentially dangerous.
Okay.
And by the way, in coffee...
Is that all? Okay.
In coffee, there's 2,000 chemicals, of which 40 are carcinogenic.
I don't spit my coffee down my kids' throats. So that comparison is pointless.
Well, okay, fine. Well, I'll tell you what I do. I'll email your researchers today, the scientific papers on
Yeah, fine, and then I'll go and find some ones that contradict it. We can find anything we want that will back up the argument we want. But it's obvious, isn't it? It's obvious, and you know it is.
Well, no, I don't know, because it is one of the most appalling abuses of science.
David, are you a smoker?
I am a smoker, yeah.
Okay, so you're basically... You got kids?
Well, they're growing up now,
okay,
yeah.
And you smoked in front of your kids?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You're basically just trying to justify your own stupidity. That's all it is, and that's fine. You're an addict, and that's fine. You are justifying your addiction. Some might say a weakness. I wouldn't, because it's bloody hard to stop smoking. But you're justifying your addiction and justifying your stupidity in front of your own kids, and that's fine.
Ian, let me qualify what you just said there. My daughter, who smokes...
I'm so sorry.
Doesn't well, it's her decision. I'd much rather she smoked than drank alcohol when she was under the age of 18. But anyway,
I'm sorry that you've done such a poor job in raising your kids that they smoke.
Oh, Ian, that's a bit rude, isn't it?
I'm genuinely sorry. I'm sorry that you weren't able to set a healthy, loving example for them.
Well, perhaps there's other ways.
I'm sure there were. I'm not saying you're a bad dad. I'm just saying in one massive area you fell down significantly.
Well, I'm sure for all my failures, I made successes elsewhere.
Oh, I'm sure you have. I'm not for 1 second saying you're a bad dad in all areas. I'm sure you're a brilliant dad in most areas, but in one really significant one that could, potentially give your kids cancer, you failed.
Right. Well, that's an arguable point about giving them cancer. And also, as well, but I'll just finish the point on that one, if I may. My son didn't like smoking, and he used to complain about it from the age of 4. So I used to smoke in a different room to him when he was growing up. And when he went to bed, I used to light up in the living room.
There's a spark up. Go, thank God the little sod's gone to bed. Quick, where's the Benson and Edges? Spark 'em up. Let's have them. All that laugh. Oh dear.
I was a Marlboro smoker when I was younger. Then I went to roll up. So, but that's no problems on that one. No. This is the whole point. This is the thing that really irritates me. I'm one of the world's politest smokers. If you come to my home, and I will
no,
ask,
thank you. No, thank you. Does it smell smoky?
It probably does. Yeah.
I'm all right, thanks.
Well, that's not the point I'm making. I will ask you if you don't mind me smoking in my own home. And if you're asthmatic or for whatever reason, I will go outside.
So you realise? Oh, hang on a minute. But if you're asthmatic, why would you? If someone else was asthmatic, why would you smoking have an effect on them? Because I thought it was just like harmless smoke that came out that gave off no more toxins than a couple of candles in a restaurant.
Simple reason is the way smoking and asthma. Well, my understanding is from asthmatic is that they find it.
It's bad for their health. It's bad for their health, isn't it?
Well, indeed,
Brilliant. So you've just contradicted your own argument about the candles in a restaurant.
Right. Okay. If you want to get a conversation about asthma, the thing to trigger an asthma attack, you need a protein. You need a protein. There is no protein in cigarette smoke.
So then, why are you saying to asthmatics, "Do you mind if I smoke in front of you?" Oh, you'd rather I didn't. So you're realising, but you've acknowledged, David. You've acknowledged that it's bad for. Okay, two things, and thank you for clarifying that. You've acknowledged that it is bad for other people, and that smoking is
bad.
It's disgusting. But you just said it
sometimes.
Well, then why are you offering in front of asthmatics? Why would you mention asthma if you're not acknowledging that the smoke can be upsetting medically for them?
No, I'm not.
It irritates their asthma.
Okay, let me finish my point on asthma.
Go on.
If someone does get an asthmatic attack, they think from cigarette smoke it will be psychosomatic.
Come on, David. If you're smoking a cigarette in front of an asthmatic and they have a bit of an episode, they're imagining it.
Their mind induces physical symptoms.
Okay. Okay. I say you spoke an 80% guff today. Let's end on a positive note. We can all agree that vapours are arrogant, can't we?
Vapours are arrogant. Why?
Oh, God, here we go. David, been fun talking to you. Speak to you again soon. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Ta-ta. David Atherton, chairman of the pro-smoking group Freedom to Choose.
You were talking about the no smoking in the cars, and you said, what's it got to do with you if people smoke in their own homes and potentially damaging their children. And my first thought was, that's what happened with paedophilia. People used to say, I thought that, no, it's not funny though, Ian. I don't think it's funny at all because...
I'm not laughing at paedophilia, Sally. I'm laughing at how you've made the jump from me asking the woman from Lash, and I didn't ask specifically what you said. What I said was, what's it got to do with you? I didn't then specify smoking in the homes. I'm interested to see how you've made the jump from smoking... I'm interested to see how you've made the jump from smoking in homes to child abuse. Let's go.
It was about your comment. You were in the frame of talking about smoking at home. Why is that not being brought in? Why is it only in the cars? Why haven't they said it's illegal in the home? And you said,
I think it's illegal to abuse children in cars.
Sorry, did you want me to finish, or do you want to?
I'm really struggling, Sally, and I'm a little bit annoyed that you've made a connection between paedophilia and smoking, but I'm going to button it, and I'm going to give you the chance to dig yourself out of this hole that you've got yourself in. Let's go. Away you go.
My comment is not about the link between the two. My comment is that as a society, we are being told we should look out for one another. And my first thought, when you said to that lady, so what's it got to do with you? It brought me back to some of the major things that have gone wrong in our society, such as paedophilia, such as where people have been abused in their own home, women being knocked around, men being knocked around. There's a vast things I could have come on to say. But the whole point is, if somebody doesn't say it's wrong and I'm going to make it my business, you don't have to be a nosy neighbour next door. But I know people who smoke in their house. But when I go in, I think I just stand at the door and I say hello and I get out. And my heart has always gone out to those children who are living in that. So to me, the abuse you're doing to a child can be as far-reaching as if you were physically hurting someone.
Don't say it. You said it.
What have I said?
You said something really, really ridiculous. So that if the abuse that you're dealing out to a child, if you smoke in the home, can be as far-reaching as sexual abuse.
No, I said as physical abuse. So please don't put words in my mouth.
Sally, you've brought up. Can you explain to me why you've brought up child sexual abuse and spousal abuse in this conversation? Because I haven't got a clue what the connection is.
Because of turning a blind eye in. What I'm saying is, just because something is occurring, are you advocating that if it's happening in somebody's own home, it's nothing to do with anybody else, it's up to the parents? Is that what you're advocating?
I'm not even going to qualify that with a response, Sally, because it's so ridiculous. And you've really... I don't know if you're having a bad day, but you've really... you've embarrassed yourself. But I appreciate your call. Thank you, Sally.
You've embarrassed yourself, Ian, I think, by not having an open debate, because you don't like Ian to end the conversation. What a waste of space. If you want to be a proper presenter, then have a rounded conversation. It was your radio station that phoned me back because they wanted me to have a conversation. You're the one that doesn't want to have a conversation back. But then Ian Lee never wants to, does he? Bye, Ian.
Can we go now, Kelly?
Yes, say bye.
See ya.
I want to be ya.
Be ya.
See you later, mate.
Yeah, bye.
Anyone going to press stop?
Mate, you're in charge of the podcast.
Ian, I see your bum almost every single day.
You never see my bum. You saw it there.
I see the top of your bum on a regular basis.
How do you have a belt on and still ride low?
Because I'm so slim.
Well,
I make a point of never showing my bum.
I've seen it more than I've seen your face.
I just never mention it.
Listen, guys, I'm not just a piece of meat. I'm a human being as well.
It's the elephant in the room.
You see that as well?
Thanks for listening to this free download from BBC Three Counties Radio, your local radio station for beds, hearts and bucks, on FM, AM, digital radio, and online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.